LearnEverywhereXULA, an asynchronous course to support synchronous remote teaching. Xavier University of Louisiana is a predominantly undergraduate, historically Black, and Catholic university whose teaching is critical to its mission of preparing its students to assume roles of leadership and service in a global society, in a diverse learning and teaching environment. A part of the Xavier magic is the learning environment that consistently provides students with an atmosphere conducive to their success. This is accomplished through close faculty-to-student relationships, small class sizes, accessible academic and non-academic support, and effective instruction. This critical learning environment was threatened by the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced Xavier to quickly transition to remote instruction for the remainder of the spring 2020 semester and all summer sessions. Additionally, in preparation to return to campus for the fall 2020 semester with social distancing measures in place, Xavier required all full-time faculty to deliver at least one course via virtual instruction. To help ensure that the quality of instruction would not suffer as a result of the mandate, Xavier required all faculty to complete training for virtual instruction during the summer of 2020. The term virtual encompasses 4 different types of instruction at Xavier: online, remote, hybrid, and mixed mode. Online denotes courses that are taught asynchronously. Students do not have specific virtual class meeting times and may complete work at their own pace within the confines of assignment deadlines. Remote refers to courses that are taught synchronously. In these courses, students have defined times during which they must meet in virtual classrooms to receive instruction. Hybrid refers to courses where part of the instruction is in person and part is virtual. The combination of these 2 modes of instruction can vary from one course to another, and the virtual portion may be synchronous or asynchronous. Mixed mode denotes courses that are taught in person. The instructor is physically present in the classroom, but the courses are designed to allow students to attend in person or virtually and have the same instructional experience no matter how they choose to attend. The staff of the Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Faculty Development at Xavier developed a plan to address the professional development needs of more than 200 faculty with limited time and resources. The hashtag LearnEverywhereXULA course was developed to support faculty once they had demonstrated competence with Brightspace, our learning management system. To prepare Xavier's faculty to effectively deliver instruction in any of these virtual modes, training was developed that consisted of 3 distinct but related parts. The first part, called XULAFlex, was a 5-week training that was designed to teach the mechanics of Brightspace. Faculty were surveyed to determine their proficiency level with the various tools in Brightspace. Depending on their responses to the survey items, faculty were placed into the appropriate level of the XULAFlex program. Some faculty were required to complete all 5 weeks of the program, while others demonstrated proficiency that allowed them to completely bypass XULAFlex and be enrolled immediately in the hashtag Lex course. The training was supplemented with daily synchronous sessions where faculty could come and get one-to-one help with topics. Once faculty completed or bypassed XULAFlex, they were enrolled in the self-paced hashtag Lex course. The course was designed to model and demonstrate the pedagogical practices and standards that facilitate effective virtual instruction, specifically in Brightspace. The time required to complete the course was estimated to be 6 to 12 plus hours, depending on the faculty's online teaching experience and the extent to which their course materials were developed. The support for this portion of the training was provided in the form of a Q&A discussion board within the course where faculty were encouraged to ask questions and answer the questions of their colleagues. The facilitators monitored the discussion board and provided answers to questions. To effectively manage the large number of assignment and reflection submissions from the learners, The facilitators did not respond to all submissions. Instead, only those assignment or reflection submissions where a specific question was asked or where it was determined that feedback was warranted were provided a response. After completing both Zula Flex and #Lex, faculty were required to submit a course for review that was to be taught in the fall 2020 semester. The courses were reviewed by CAT+FD professionals who were looking to observe evidence that the principles and practices demonstrated in ZulaFlex and #Lex were incorporated into the faculty's virtual courses. The 8 modules of #Lex were developed based on each of the 8 Quality Matters general standards. However, each module was tailored to emphasize the tools available in Brightspace and the Xavier Touch. Each module followed the same format: a statement of learning objectives, instructions through video, web link, and text, illustrations of how to address the topic in Brightspace, an assignment to build an aligned component in Brightspace, and a reflective activity. Faculty were awarded a digital badge upon completion of each module and a course completion badge after earning all 8 module level badges. Faculty then submitted a fall 2020 course slated for virtual instruction for review to determine if principles and practices demonstrated in #Lex were evident in their course. Once all 3 parts of the training were complete, faculty received a certificate of completion as well as constructive feedback on their course. They were also monetarily compensated for their successful completion of the training. Of the 217 faculty enrolled who began the training program, 94% have completed the coursework, while 99% of those have had their remote courses reviewed. Of the 215 initially eligible faculty, nearly 97% have completed the training, with each currently teaching at least one remote course. While initial enrollment included only full-time tenured and tenured track faculty, all faculty now have access to the training. The effectiveness of #Lex can be approximated through reviewing faculty's fall 2020 courses. Course reviewers revealed that overall faculty tried to meet the ideals of #Lex. On average, in 42% of courses submitted, faculty successfully incorporated those ideals, while another 51% of faculty attempted to do so. Thus, on average, 93% of the courses developed for virtual teaching demonstrated efforts by the faculty to develop a course for effective virtual delivery as per their #Lex training. Learners were asked to provide feedback on their experience with the #Lex course. Through a post-completion survey, we found that 93% of respondents were likely or extremely likely to recommend #Lex to a colleague. 3/4 of the way through the fall 2020 semester, faculty who completed the summer training were surveyed to determine how they perceived their training to impact their teaching in the fall 2020 semester. They were presented with the following open-ended prompt. This summer you completed the self-paced #LearnEverywhereXULA course designed by CAT+FD. Please share the impact of taking the course on your teaching in fall 2020. Faculty indicated an overall benefit from the training for both themselves and their students, with many of the comments focusing on increased organization and design of courses, more intentional use of the tools available in Brightspace, and an enhanced sense of creating an improved learning environment for their students. A representative sampling of the responses to the prompt are highlighted here. Quote, "The impact has been enormous. In all 4 of my classes, I have created small assignments tied closely to learning goals that reward students for doing the readings and thinking about them before class. Reading logs, discussion boards, Zoom polls, quizzes. Thanks to rubrics, The evaluation of work has never been more transparent. In my previous 38 years of university teaching, I never used a PowerPoint slideshow, but now it has become a staple, along with short videos to help maintain student interest and focus. It's unfortunate that a pandemic led to this unique experience in faculty development, but there's no denying that my teaching is undergoing a renaissance. Close quote. Quote, first, I learned how to better design courses that logically flowed for students. I used to dump documents and build assignments into Brightspace. Now I make sure to build in signposts and title things simply to give students a sense of a logical flow and security. They now know to expect a getting started, weekly checklist, etc. for each week. Close quote. Quote, this course provided me with invaluable knowledge and tools that I have used consistently throughout my teaching this fall semester. I am incredibly grateful to have received this training. It has expanded my perspective with regard to online teaching and online learning materials. My students have benefited from the adaptive course content and have expressed their appreciation of the multiple modes of instruction. This training was particularly useful as students, for various reasons, health, weather, family, had to engage in remote instruction versus in-person. I am sure that I will use what I have learned for the rest of my career. Close quote. Quote, the techniques that I learned in this course have made me a better instructor, giving me a broader perspective. I'm a bit more confident of myself. You showed me that flexibility, if properly applied, can benefit both the instructor and the students. Close quote. The CAT+FD staff gained invaluable insight from the first faculty cohort to complete the #Lex course. There is now an understanding of where the bottlenecks in the course exist and how redesigning some aspects of the course can address those roadblocks to progress. Additionally, the feedback from the evaluations provided by faculty who have completed the training will be used to make improvements to future iterations of the course. The goal moving forward is to continually modify the course to ensure that it is current in terms of the tools available in Brightspace and to ensure that the training is applicable and useful to future cohorts of faculty and teaching staff. Those Xavier faculty who completed the #Lex course also have the opportunity to earn advanced certification by participating in workshops that address various topics related to creating an effective virtual teaching environment. The #Lex course is an evidence-based, sustainable, and tailorable professional development opportunity to meet the faculty needs of the foreseeable yet uncertain future. Its design includes the Quality Matters standards, which are universal in their applicability, as well as better practice for virtual teaching and tools in Brightspace. #Lex is sustainable in that the self-paced nature allowed a staff of 6 with a limited budget to offer impactful professional development to almost 97% of faculty and to now offer it to all incoming faculty and teaching staff. It is tailorable in that it integrates Xavier's unique mission while remaining adaptable to future needs. This model of training can be scaled up or down to accommodate any number of trainees using the LMS and instructional principles that are unique to individual institutions. An open source version of the #Lex course is available to anyone to whom it may be of interest at catwiki.xula.edu/LearnEverywhereXULA.